5%, very close election. Pulled it out basically in Ohio and in Florida there. But the map made Bush's drive look much bigger because Republicans do well in rural counties. That's what we remember. Democrats do well in urban areas. There are less urban areas in rural counties. And even in last year's elections, 2012, Willard Romney more than 3 or 4 counties against President Obama, despite losing the popular vote by 4 percentage points and millions of votes, actually. The rural-urban divide, this is what the Republicans trade on, and that's the less advanced areas within the U.S. Generally speaking, Republicans win districts that are geographically large, and Democrats win districts that are geographically small, but have a lot of people in them. This squares with the national political scene. As noted, right after the election last year, President Obama won 90% of the nation's 50 most populous counties, while Willard won 90% of the counties in rural Appalachia. Well, he would win those counties because, as they say, they're not on the 2013 record. This helps explain the Republican structural advantage in the House. Yes, redistricting in many states had something to do with it, although Democrats benefited from gerrymandering in some places too, but the Democratic votes were also clustered closer together than the Republican votes, which hurt Democrats. For instance, President Obama won 70% or more of the votes in 61 House districts in 2012. Willard got 70% more in just 19 districts. So, political scientist Zhao Chang of the University of Michigan and Jonathan Roden of Stanford argued that the close proximity of Democratic votes dilute their power in the House. In many states, Democrats are ineffectively concentrating in large cities and small industrial agglomerations, such as they can expect to win fewer than 50% of the seats when they win 50% of the vote. That's what they wrote. The clusters become really apparent with just a cursory glance at the map of the House of Representatives based on U.S. Census data. 234 Republican House members represents districts that cover 3/5, 80% of the U.S. landmass, while 211 Democrats in the House hold about 20% of the land mass. In other words, the Republicans got the land, the cows, and everything else. We assume that the Republicans will hold one House vacancy in Missouri's heavily conservative 8 district. The U.S. is roughly 3.5 million square miles. Districts range in size from Don Young's at large in Alaska, which is about 570 square miles for 16% of the entire nation, to Charlie-Rangle, New York's 13, which is only 10.25 square miles and about half the size of the island of Manhattan. Wrangell represents Harlem, northern Manhattan, and a portion of the Bronx. Steve Pierce, Republican of New Mexico, that's the 2nd district, holds the largest non-enlarged district in the country. Because of the distorted effect of Young's gigantic district and other big enlarged districts, state of Alaska, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, technically the 4 biggest districts in the U.S. The average size of the House district is about 8,100 square miles, and roughly corresponds to the size of Jim Cleveland, that's in South Carolina's 6th district, which is the 87th largest district in the country. A better way to analyze these districts is to look at the median, which is Frank Labano. He's in New Jersey. Southern New Jersey is about 2,100 square miles. New Jersey's 2nd is both 218th biggest and 218th smallest of the 435 districts. In the 217 districts larger than the median, Republicans hold 3/4 of the districts. In the 217, so the Democrats hold, they hold 2/3 of those seats. So you can see what the problem is here. Therefore, one can predict the size of the congressional district, how the president would perform. We use the presidential results, not congressional results because many members are unopposed. There's no doubt about that. Democrats hold 87 of the nation's 100 geographically small districts and 39 of the smallest 40, and the Republicans hold 73 of the largest districts as land mass there. So you can kind of see what is going on there. And if we look at Greater San Antonio is one. That's the Western Panhandle in Texas. President Obama got 48.1% of the vote there, and it's 25.6% white there. That's in Texas, and it's 58,000 square miles. And we could go to various other districts. We won't bother to do that, but we'll look at Bennie Thompson. It's Jackson, the western half. That's in Mississippi too. And roughly, the president got 32.3%. That's an African American district, incidentally. And we look at some of the others here. Stanford Bishop, good example. Georgia too. Where's Stanford Bishop? Okay. The president got 41.8% of the vote. It's 9,000 square there. Excuse me, that's the white population. I'm sorry, I'm giving you the wrong thing here. In Stanford Bishop's district, we can get back to him, the president got 58.6%, and the white population there is 41.8%. And let me go back quickly here to Bennie Thompson. 66.4% is what President Obama got, and the white population is 32.3. We'll get it right in a minute here as we're going down here. Ron Barber's district, that's the one that Gabrielle Giffords has, or had. That is 48.4% for the president. It's 7 million square miles, and it's 64.4% white. So that's some of the districts there. Well, Rick Nolan, we'll do that one. That's Minnesota 8th. That's Duluth and the Iron Range. The president got 51.7% there. And the white population there is 92.9%. In other words, he pulled that one out. And it's in terms of square miles, 27,557.40. Wait a minute here. Well, it's 27,908.31 there. And just in terms of white-black districts, Flagstaff, Arizona is a good one. That's Arizona 1. And Kirkpatrick. The president got, as a progressive district for Arizona, 47.9%. And Flagstaff in northeast Arizona is 50.9 in terms of its white population, so it's dissipating, and it will be a majority there. So Republicans who hold the nation's smallest, we don't have room to get to most of them. We'll do Peter King. He's in New York too, on Long Island. The president got 51.6% of the vote, and 66.1 is the white population there. And let's see who else we'll do here. Well, Greater Phoenix, this is Matt Solomon. The president only got 34.6% of the vote there, and he's 73% white in that particular one. San Bernardino, that's California 31. The president got 57.2%, and the white population there is 29.7. You can kind of see what's going on here from those particular situations. Anyway, to the Pew Center for the People and the Press, the Associated Press records that roughly a quarter, 26% of American people say they're following very close. Reports that IRS targeted conservatives, about the same, 25% on Benghazi, and 16 the Justice Department and the AP journalists. You can see how that's coming up. This was on the 20th. This particular one came out. There's a survey of roughly 1,000 people there, And 37% of the Republicans are paying very close attention to the IRS story, compared with 21% of the Democrats, 25% of the Independents. And on Benghazi, much greater interest with the Republicans, 34% very closely, and 18% with the Democrats. You can see the schism going there. Historic review of previous controversy involving the White House cabinet members, etc. Attentionness, not nearly as much. The Scooter Libby case during, that was G.W. Bush's administration. Our parole gate, that received similar levels of public attention and have been forgotten long since. So on the IRS target, 47% said the Obama administration was involved in the decision to target him. Few, 31% to say the decision to target conservative groups was made by the IRS. Not surprisingly, opinions are highly partisan. Let's see. 7 in 10 Republicans, 69% said the administration is in it. And just 12% was made by them. Contrast, 21% of the Democrats said the administration was involved, while 54% said they were not. The AP phone records thing, slightly more disapproved, 44%. Been approved, 36%. Department of Justice action. They don't really know the whole story. And some of the past administrations, well, we're running out of time. We'll give you that on the week that was. Thus, this will do it for us. On to a little bit of President Obama's speech. And stay tuned over the weekend. Wish everybody a happy Memorial Day weekend. We'll be here with the week that was, and the financial program Numbers Man, and economic news. That's on Spreaker. And we'll be back with the Monday morning quarterback and a special Memorial Day presentation. That'll be on Spreaker also. And as a Port lawyer of Newark, New Jersey, one only Bill Graham would say. Peace.
Hey, this is Boston Red, back live. Everybody have a good weekend. We did a little better than I assumed that we would do. In terms of our overall time here, got a couple of minutes left. In the state of Virginia, there is a candidate there running for lieutenant governor, I believe it is. His name is Jackson, precise name. E.H. Jackson, I believe, is the fellow's name. We'd have to look that up. But anyway, one time he was in Boston. He's been on the right for a bit. As far as one of the so-called African Americans, we'll cover this on the week that was. Nonetheless, old Jackson has had a lot of things to say. He had a lot of things to say in Boston. He's got a church there in Virginia, in a hotel room or something, and he has a checkered past. He also has a law degree, however, from Harvard. So he's not a dummy, but he says things to get attention, and he is, to the Republicans in Virginia, what happened in Missouri there with that particular candidate, and also happened in Indiana. So stay tuned. Anyway, have a good weekend. We'll talk to you Saturday night, Sunday morning on the week that was. Good evening.